I'm Dr. Kristen R. Bromley. This video series, which is part of my online music academy, specifically accompanies note reading books 1 and 2 from my method book series. Like all my books, this selection is available to purchase through Amazon and Google Play. For help, see the links in the description below. In the videos which are part of this specific course, I progress through the lessons in note reading books 1 and 2, explaining and demonstrating concepts and playing each of the songs and exercises contained therein, so you can hear how they sound and play them right along with me. You are of course welcome to view these videos with or without the book, but with the book you can work through all the songs and exercises, and in the process learn all the notes in first position and master the skill of reading written music notation. Alright, let's get to jamming in this lesson. Hi there, welcome back! So nice to have you joining me. Here in lesson 2, we're going to be learning the notes on the B string. In the last lesson, we learned E, F, and G, which are on the first string. So now we're going to learn B, C, and D. We're going to be on pages 13 through 17 in this lesson, starting out on page 13. So first, the B note. The B note sits on the center line of the staff, and it's the open second string. So we pluck it without putting any fingers on. It's just that open second string. Easy peasy. The C note sits on the space just above that center line. So remember, they go in alphabetical order as you ascend higher. So B to C. C is at the first fret of that second string. We want to stick our index finger just a couple frets behind the metal bar, and we've got C, B, and C. It's easier to get a good tone the closer our finger is to the metal fret until we're actually touching it. Then we're going to get some sort of buzz. But back here it can be harder to get it to sound. So we want to sit right close to that fret bar, and we want to be on the tip of our index finger. The D note is on the line just above the C. So we got D, and it sits at the third fret on that second string. We're going to play that with our ring finger. We want to be on the tip, and we want to sit that next to the fret bar as well. So we have open B, first fret C, third fret D. B, C, and D. Alrighty, so let's take a look at some of these exercises. We'll start with number 1. So we've got whole notes here. This will give us a good chance to get used to playing these pitches and to try and get them to ring out. So we're going to go ahead and go with it. 1, 2, ready, and we have B, 2, 3, 4, C, 2, 3, 4, D, 2, 3, 4, C, 2, 3, 4, D, 2, 3, 4, B, 2, 3, 4, C, 2, 3, 4, B, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's go on to number 2. This one's going to have half notes. So you got 1, 2, ready, and we have B, 2, B, 2, C, 2, C, 2, D, 2, D, 2, C, 2, B, 2, D, 2, C, 2, B, 2, D, 2, C, 2, B, 2, and B, 2, 3, 4. Alright, let's flip on over to page 14 and we'll do number 3. This one has quarter notes, so it's going to go a little faster. We have 1, 2, ready, and we have B, 2, 3, 4, C, 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 D, 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 C, 2, B, 2, C, D, C, B, D, C, B, D, C, B, C, D, B, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we're going to go on to number 4. It's going to change things up a little bit more. I'll take it just a hair slower. We're going to go 1, 2, ready, and B, C, D, C, B, B, D, D, C, B, D, C, D, B, D, C, B, D, C, B, C, Hopefully this is getting fun for you. We'll go on to number 5, the B string pearls. This one's going to change up the rhythm as well as the pitches. So here you go. 1, 2, ready, and we have B, 2, B, 2, C, D, B, D, C, 2, C, 2, D, C, D, C, D, D, C, B, D, C, C, B, D, B, C, D, C, D, B, 2, B, 2, C, D, C, B, D, C, B, C, D, B, C, B, C, B, D, B, B, 2, B, 2, C, D, C, D, B, 2, 3, 4. All right, let's take a look at the next page. On this page, we're going to combine the first and second strings together. So we're going to do that first with number 6. This is going to go in scale order from B all the way up to G, back down to B. So we got 1, 2, ready, and we have that open B, 2, 1st fret C, 2, 3rd fret D, 2, open E, next string, F, 2, G, 2, back down, F, E, D, 2, C, 2, and B, 2, 3, 4. Let's do number 7. It's going to go a little faster because it's quarter notes. So you got 1, 2, ready, and we're going to have B, C, D, E, F, G, F, E, D, C, B, C, D, E, F, G, G, F, E, D, C, B, C. Now as you're doing this, remember to use your index finger for those notes when they're in the 1st fret and your ring finger for the notes in the 3rd fret. This is really important. It helps us get faster and start establishing sort of positions, especially later on when we move around the neck. We need our fingers to still work with 1, 2, 3, and 4. Right now we're not using the pinky or middle finger, but we want to make sure and get the index and ring fingers working properly in those frets. Okay, let's take a look at number 8. Now this one's going to skip around a little bit, so it may be a little tricky. It's kind of a test of the memory. So here we go. Kind of fun, hopefully. 1, 2, ready, and we're going to have B, 2, open E, 2, 1st fret C, 2, F, 2, D, 2, 3rd fret G, 2, then back to the open B, 2, 1st fret F, D, 2, E, 2, C, 2, G, 2, B, 2, E, 2, D, 2, C, 2, G, 2, E, 2, C, 2, F, 2, D, 2, B, 2, C, 2, 3, 4. Lots of skips there. When we're reading notes and we're going stepwise from one note to the note that's adjacent to it, it's kind of easy as long as we remember the pattern, the 0, 1, 3, 0, 1, 3 right now, or descending 3, 1, 0, 3, 1, 0. Later on we'll have other patterns too, like on the next string we're going to have a 2 in there instead of the 1 and the 3. But when we have skips, we have to remember where those pitches are, and we have to jump to them. So the stepwise motion is pretty easy. This next one's going to have a lot of stepwise motion, and we got to keep track though of the change of direction. So there's going to be places where we're ascending and then we switch to descending, and there may be some skips here and there too. All right, chasing notes, number 9. 1, 2, ready, and B, C, D, C, D, E, F, E, F, G, F, E, G, F, E, D, F, E, D, F, E, G, 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 F right, so that's a really great exercise. So besides the stepwise motion that happens in it, there were a lot of skips of what we call a third. So when we skip a third, we're skipping from space to space, skipping over the line that's in between, or skipping from line to line, skipping that space that's in between. That kind of skip, the skip of a third, that happens a lot in melodies. And so this is a really great one. Besides the stepwise motion, the change of direction, a lot of the patterns that are in chasing notes are found in melodies all over the place. So if this one was really difficult, it'd be good to work on it, even working on it in sections, one measure at a time. So for example, if I had trouble with those first couple measures, I could just work it over and over until I got it down, and then do those two measures again until I was started to get it down, and then work the next tricky spot and the next tricky spot, and then get it so I can play all the way through. If you do that, and if you can do that while saying the names of the notes as you're going through it, you're going to learn this much faster. It's going to ingrain much deeper into your playing, and it's going to help us with playing melodies, which is what we're going to do next. So let's go ahead and flip on over to page 16. We get to start playing our first recognizable melodies. So we're going to have Merrily We Roll Along. Same melody as Mary Had a Little Lamb, by the way. So it's probably recognizable. Now, as we start through this part of the lesson and later all the way through the book, we're going to start to see the chord symbols written above the staff. So don't let those confuse you. That C written there at the start of number 10 isn't telling us that that's a C note. That's actually an E pitch. Sometimes the name of the chord that goes with a measure or a piece of a measure, sometimes that matches up with the notes, and a lot of times it doesn't. So it can help if it did match, but most of the time it would be throwing us off. So we want to ignore those. Those are there so we could play duets. One could play the chords while the other one plays the melody. I often do that in my classes. And you could actually practice both if you're learning both. Now, if you want to learn to play the chords and you haven't already done so, you could start going through the Chords and Harmony books 1 and 2 with the videos, and you can learn all about playing chords on the guitar right along with me in that part of the Method Series, the Chords and Harmony books 1 and 2. Alrighty, so let's go ahead. We're going to play Merrily We Roll Along. The first thing that's important is to know what the starting pitch is, because that can help us, especially when we're going to have lots of stepwise motion. So it starts on an E, so we find that E, and then we go ahead and give it a shot. So we're going to have 1, 2, ready, and we have E, D, C, D, E, D, 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 E, G, G, E, D, C, D, E, 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 D, D, E, D, C, 2, 3, 4. All right, let's go on to Go Talent Roadie, number 11. This one also starts on an E. So you got 1, 2, ready, and we have E, 2, E, D, C, 2, C, 2, D, 2, D, F, E, D, C, 2, G, 2, G, F, E, 2, E, E, D, C, D, E, C, 2, 3, 4. Okay, all through the night, number 12. This one has a dot, so a dotted half note. So you see that right in the first measure. The F pitch has a little dot sitting next to it. I talked about this when we talked about rhythm in the last lesson. But a dot next to the half note tells us that that half note is now worth 3 counts instead of 2. So but without the dot, it's worth 2 counts. With the dot, we add an extra count to it, so it's worth 3 counts. With a dot, we take half the value of the note it's sitting next to, and we add it to the length of that note. So now it's going to be worth 3 counts instead of 2. We also have a tie in this song. So if you look at the last 2 measures, that F pitch in the second to last measure is tied. There's the arched line that connects it to the to the whole note in the last measure. So that's called a tie. And when we have a tie, we pluck the note where the first one occurs, and we hold it all the way to the end of the second note without plucking it again. So that last thing is going to be worth 8 counts. It's going to be like F, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to let it ring that whole time, which is about all it will last on us, probably before it dies out. Okay, let's go ahead and do All Through the Night. So you got 1, 2, ready, and we have F, 2, 3, E, D, 2, F, 2, G, 2, 3, F, E, 2, C, 2, D, 2, 3, 4, E, 2, 3, E, F, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, let's go on over to the next page. We'll do Ode to Joy. This is a fun old Beethoven melody. You'll probably recognize it, but if not, you'll learn it here. So we're going to go 1, 2, ready, and we got E, F, G, G, F, E, D, C, C, D, E, D, D, 2, E, F, G, G, F, E, D, C, C, D, E, D, C, C, D, D, E, C, D, F, E, C, D, F, E, D, C, D, G, 2, E, F, G, G, F, E, D, C, C, D, E, D, C, C. All right, 20 plus years of teaching experience tells me there's a good chance that you might have messed up on the third line of this one. So when there's a part that messes us up, it's really a good idea to work on that part before moving on to the next song, because the things that happen in a particular song, whether it's a skip or a certain stepwise motion or a certain pattern, if we can master getting that happening with a solid bass as we're starting to learn, then later as the melodies continue to get more involved, those kind of patterns that our fingers will already be used to playing them, so it'll be easier. So I tell my students, it's all about creating like neurological superhighways through our nervous system. So the more times we do something the exact same way, the more it takes it from being an old dirt highway to being a paved road to being a freeway to being a super freeway that we can just with like a commuter lane that we can just fly down. And so our brain no longer has to take as much time to try and recognize what the pitch is, how to play it, tell us how to play it, and not actually have us play it. It just speeds up that process and we become more accurate as we're playing. Note reading is really a left-brained activity. So the more that we do it, even 5 minutes a day versus 1 hour on a given day, but the more times we do it and the more frequently those intervals between the times that we do it happen, the more we learn these things faster and the easier they get. I have some students that maybe don't like note reading as much, especially the young ones. I tell them, 5 to 10 minutes a day takes the pain away. It just starts to become easy and fun, actually. So let's take a look at that third line. Practice it just for a second here. You're going to have 1, 2, ready, and we have D, D, E, C, D, F, E, C. Let's do that much again. D, D, C. So that skip, D, D, E, and then we're going to skip back to the C. So that's one of those skips of a third. And then in that next line, D to F, we're doing that skip again, and then E, C. So a couple of those skips of the third. And then we do that again. The last measure of that line goes C, D, and we got to skip from D to G. D to G. they're in the same fret. Kind of tricky. We practiced that a little bit when we were doing those exercises back a couple pages on page 15. So here we are doing it again, and you can just practice it as much as you need to until it becomes comfortable, and then you replay the song. And even just practicing a little bit, 3 notes, if that's throwing you off, that D, F, E, whatever it might be, you just keep doing it until it's comfortable. All right, let's try the whole song one more time. So you got 1, 2, ready, and E, E, F, G, G, F, E, D, C, C, D, E, E, D, D, E, E, F, G, G, F, E, D, C, C, D, E, D, C, C, D, D, E, C, D, F, E, C, D, F, E, D, C, D, G, E, E, F, G, G, F, E, D, C, C, D, E, D, C, C. Great. I'm assuming it's great, and if it's not, that's okay. It can take time. You just keep working on it. Let's take a look at jumping bean, number 14. This is the last one in this lesson. So with jumping bean, there's a lot of skipping, hence the name jumping bean. A lot of skipping of thirds. Let's practice this just for a second. Going C to the open E to the 3rd fret G. C, 1st fret, 2nd string, open E, G. C, E, G, C, E, G. Let's go it the opposite way. G, E, C. G, E, C. Let's put it together. C, E, G, E, C. C, E, G, E, C. Okay, that's a movement that's in this song a lot. Let's look at another one. B to D and then up to the G. Open B, 3rd fret D, G. Now I do a little roll going from that D to the G. I just kind of roll it over so I don't have to pick my finger up and put it. When I first started playing though, I used to pick my finger up. So you can do it either way. You might be learning to read notes after having played for years, but always neglected learning to read notes, and now you need to play in an ensemble or somewhere where you were doing a lot of note reading. So we got that B, D, G. You could go the opposite way. G, D, B. G, D, B. Okay, let's throw in the F. So we're going to have B, D, F. So open B, 3rd fret, D, F. Open B, D, F. Let's go the other way. F, D, B. F, D, B. Let's go back and forth. B, D, F, D, B. D, F, D, B. Okay, that should help us with playing this song. Let's go ahead and give it a shot. This one also is in 3/4 time, so we haven't played one in 3/4 time before. There's only going to be 3 beats, 3 counts per measure, so that may be a little different for us, but it'll be kind of fun. So we're going to have 3, 2, 1. C, C, E, G, E, C, B, B, D, G, 2, 3, B, B, D, F, D, B, C, C, E, G, 2, 3, C, C, E, G, E, C, B, B, D, G, 2, 3, B, B, D, F, D, B, C, C, E, C, 2, 3. Alrighty, I hope you're having fun learning this. It's okay if it's not coming quite as quick as you might hope. Just keep working on it, just keep playing and practicing those exercises, and it will come. will come over time. So I'm going to see you in the next lesson, lesson 3. In lesson 3, we're going to learn the G pitch and the A pitch. We're going to have a whole octave, a whole scale's worth, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. From G to G, we're going to have a whole octave's worth of notes, which will open up how many melodies we can play. It's going to be awesome. I'll see you in that next lesson. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. For help with other guitar playing skills, check out more of my method books and the numerous lessons available as part of my online academy here on YouTube. You can find more information about me and my products at kristenbromley.com. Take care.